Hello for a second time today. We've had a bit of a break, we've got ready, and being ready, raring to go is kind of my thing, as we're heading into today's Anarchy Analysis matchup of the week. Team Vitality versus SK Gaming. You already know how it is, and I'm just gonna quickly hit that button and realize that my thing is on screen. It's there. I'll put that down there for now. So, in we go. Welcome to the first game of playoffs, and immediately I want to talk about the fact that we're on 13-6. So picks like Smolder and Senna have hit the down. We've got Rel taking prios. We got Zeri still up there in prio, but Zaya is a big boy. I think I need to lower my pen size, and I don't remember how to do that, so I'm just gonna go like so. There we go. We've got Zaya, Maokai also a prio. I think Zaya, Aphelios, Zeri, kind of the top 3 ADCs that we'd see banned. Azir is back in meta. Zaya, Rakan, kind of the big picks. So, dependent on how Vitality take the first place, Rumble is there, Camille's there for support. We haven't actually seen much of that in the LEC outright, but Camille sort of is something that Hilly can play, and I do believe DOS can whip it out as well. That sounds so wrong. So Rumble comes through. This is one of them weird picks that if this was the LCK, that could be flexed down to Hilly, and it would certainly fit his playstyle. But obviously it is known for being a topside pick, and with Photon probably going to be repping it, it is a good pick. Zeri plus any engage is usually good. Nautilus, Azir would be also good. Vi taking here would be smart, because that is kind of the natural counter pick to Zeri. So they take that. It does leave like Sedge, and then what else is there? Sedge, Azir. You are indexing quite heavily into AP then. I think you go Vi here now with the Sedge coming through. I would have honestly preferred SK to have locked in the Vi, but Vi comes through here. You then have Viego could work actually for full engage, but Vi comes through. Then it's choice of mid lane, so Ari comes in. This is probably where you lock in the Azir. And then ban phase is Nautilus, Rakan. You then also have top lane left open, so maybe Cassante hits the ban phase. Azir comes through, yeah. Nautilus, Rakan, Cassante. Still no ADC locked in here, so you may throw in the Zaya ban. It would make sense to here if you're SK. Move that away from Kazi. Because, let's be honest, you're drafting a lot of pick with the Azir and Sedge that you would like to kind of lock down a champion that's very immobile in the bot lane. Zaya has obviously a lot of escape tools with the Featherstorm. So removing it would be smart. You could actually, if you're Vitality, leave a Rakan open and ban top laners like Renekton. Renekton into Rumble kind of does favour Renekton later into the game, just because you can sustain a little bit more through the Flame Spitters and the burn damage with your Call of the Meek. But as a whole, you are kind of relying quite heavily onto some of the poke. But yeah, Jinx actually isn't removed. I forgot that's a powerful pick. So as a whole, you lock in support or counter pick support here. You lock top, so Cassante maybe here. Something that can just survive lane. This is where you lock your full bot lane. And Xayah Rakan is looking quite nice. So Xayah, Rakan, Camille still are up and available. I think you definitely have to ban out. So Jax goes. Rakan gets taken away, actually. That is kind of smart. You take Rakan so they can't get a full lovers duo. But Xayah is still very prevalent. I think you still lock in Xayah and then go Camille in this situation. Or Zillion is a pick that Hilly has gone to. Lissandra, also an option. That's a Yasuo. Yasuo Senna. Wow. They're throwing a gauntlet down here, Vitality. With this draft. That's, I mean, top side map. Very AP heavy. So, realistically speaking, locking in the double AD carries in the bot lane kind of works. This I like. I may have preferred a Poppy in this situation. In fact, I definitely would have preferred a Poppy. Just looking at it, you've got Ahri with dashes, Vi with dashes, Yasuo with dashes. You lock them down with Poppy, it makes it really hard to play. So in teamfights later in the game, you play with the Sedge and Poppy. Because Cassante is basically doing the same thing a Poppy would, except slightly more damage in the back wheel for a Cassante. However, frontline wise, you kind of want to be able to peel. And I think Poppy would have provided a little bit more than what the Cassante will with the All Out. In terms of removing members from a fight. You think Zeri kind of wants to be left to free hit. Same with Azir. Having a Poppy would have done a lot of peeling. Same with Rakan. It just seems to me that the draft from SK is a little bit weaker overall. And yeah, I'm just going to hit that button and go into game. My game one. Good. That worked. Dogs are barking. Got a new puppy, so trying to get used to things with her in the house. So there may be a bit more noise overall. And yeah. Into game one we go. Gonna take a look at the starts, and immediately right off the bat we are seeing standard fan of 5 across the board. Fan of 5s. We're just waiting for the cheeky ward to come through. I dare say that will probably be a thing that comes through from Vitality. They're going to try and step forward. The Yasuo doesn't have the same sort of power as the Zeri at level 1. Obviously, Zeri has a more spammy Q early levels comparative to what the Yasuo will do. Yes, they both have spammy Qs, but Yasuo has a little bit more shielding so they can bully their way up into that brush. And personally speaking, just taking a look, I'm pretty sure Rakan has put a ward down, yes, on the bottom there. So as a whole, that will stop any sort of early plays onto Niski. And yeah, gonna be honest, I'm pretty intrigued to see how this one plays out. Because as we look at the mid lane, fairly even in terms of wave push early. Ahri might get a little bit more harassment down onto the Azir with the Qs, going through all the minions and then clearing the wave like so. But as it starts, I think Azir will just be able to sustain through to level 6 and be fine. Just taking a look at the jungle clears. It is topside start for Douglas versus the bot side start for Isma. So they're going to the opposite sides of the map. Obviously SK kind of want to protect the Cassante from a rumble play. However, Isma actually has started to path downwards and is invading. So that's kind of an interesting thing to see, because I'm not sure how much vision SK had on the start for. That's actually a bad play by VTO. I'm not sure how much of a knowledge SK had of the start for thingy. But yeah, this is interesting. Flash out from Isma. Getting a lot of damage down. VTO gonna actually fall. I think that is a huge outplay or misplay by the Vitality jungler. Because let's be honest, we go back to here. We see the fact that Douglas is able to spot Isma clearing out or trying to steal his camps. So the start or the play should be wary here if you are VTO, because look where he is. If we look at this bit, he's already quite far up in lane. So as a whole, this play, well, it would immediately be followed by Douglas, who can go over the wall and Q. It's either poor communication to mid laner to, hey, play safe, back up. And he actually is backing up. But then he turns back in. And Eastman just continues to make the play. So he's quite far forward up in lane. And he steps forward again. Because he doesn't want to lose CS. That is the clear play. Don't want to lose CS. So get a bit greedy. And personally speaking, it's a misplay. Because now you have to burn your flash. And mid lane's a bit of an issue because Niski has flash. He can wait till level 6 and then all in you. Pretty much kill you. Because he has quite low mana as Niski. But this play, it's the fact that Isma legitimately just goes off. He's hinting that he's going to take Scuttle. But like, this is just a bad play. Because VTO steps further forward into lane now. And he puts himself in a death position. And yeah, Isma doesn't leave. Comes straight in. While this brush is great, it's just a flash. Land the second after the W for the slow. VTO getting chipped away with the Sand Soldiers. And yeah, easy kill for Sedge. Overall, a bad play by VTO, just to give over a free and easy kill. Now, bot side, we are seeing a surprising amount of pressure in favor of Kazi Hilly. Yasuo early, in terms of laning, tend to be very weak level 1, only having the Q. You don't have that much way of getting into the wave. But the big issue for SK is the fact that Rakan, melee champion, into the center. It's just the fact that there's no way of engaging as a good invade here by Vitality to steal away the red buff. But essentially, because Hilly outranges DOS, DOS can't really step up and affect this matchup and protect his ADC. And as such, Hilly's just free firing into X kick, not allowing CS fall through. This is just overall a really hard matchup for the SK bot laners to play, considering the fact that he's just being harassed off the wave by Hilly on repeat. Because as soon as he steps up, insta Q, then looking for the auto attack. Yeah, Hilly's actually doing quite well. 17 stacks. It's just farming them up. And we're what, 4 minutes in, 17 stacks. Gonna hit the first level up, 20 stacks. Every 20 you get the upgrade. He's doing good. You think 5 minutes, 20 stacks, 40 stacks at 10, 60 at 15, 80 at 20. That's pretty good. Slightly slower of tempo in terms of if he continues at this pace. But obviously, the later and later you get into the game, the more stacks you get, because you start to roam, you start to get jungle camps in terms of their extra souls. You start to get them from team fights. Realistically speaking, it's more beneficial for this center as the game goes on. Now, Vitality aware of Yzma's position, VTO respecting it, backs away to his tower. Niski did take a TP and got himself a Amptome and a Ruby Crystal. Not much there on that buy. Looking at VTO's buy, refillable, Dark Seal, certainly looking to turn back the play that was initially played. He also has a pot. So he's probably going to go for an aggressive trade towards this Drake, if need to be. I dare say a lot of players will, because as a whole, next team fight or first team fight in the game will be either Herald or second Void Grubs spawning, because Drake kind of is Drake. You take it as and when. I believe that is a Hex Soul Drake on the Rift, so a little bit more prior should be put on that, actually, all things considered. Just the extra damage it can put down. Boots picked up as a possible play. Bot side could be coming through. Kazi sees a possible fight as Zerial comes through. The chip damage is down, but a good knock up onto Yzma by, I'm pretty sure, Kazi. Denies the follow-up play, so yeah. All the sums out from the Vitality bot lane. Flash is up still on SK side. That's going to relieve quite a bit of pressure onto the spot side map, so Exekick and DOS can roam up and help start this Drake. Obviously, Senna would have loved to have got them souls, however, using the E brings Kazi back to safety. Niski unable to get a slide and glide into an ulti. And yeah, as it stands, he gives up some mid pressure, probably a plate here to VTO for securing first Drake and Infernal Drake. So we're actually going to be getting, hopefully, Mountain or Ocean. The rest of the souls are kind of sucky. So there's that. If we do get a good soul, will be pretty good if you're SK. I mean, Ocean, arguably the best soul. If you get that, you can actually deal with the Vi, the Ahri, Rumble, trying to burst you down. But you look at the entire engage combo that Vitality have. You have the Vi with her ulti, the cease and desist, able to knock up multiple members, same with her Q. And that will allow for Kazi a good last breath, or you hope for a good last breath anyway. As we pan to the top side, Photon hasn't really seen much impact in this game yet, but he's somehow got a 600 gold lead as Sejuani going aggressive onto Hilly as a lovely double knock-up coming out from the SK bot laner. The flash forward denies the Dawning Shadow as Niski's here. He gets an Emperor's Divide, but it's unable to pick off members as here's the flame-spitting Rumble. Overheating. Not going to be able to get a trade kill. It's a 1-0 trade in favor of SK. However, Vitality ascertain control around this riverbank that SK are unable to get. But disengage really well executed by DOS. And it's just straight targeting of Hilly. Don't allow the center to free fire. Don't allow her to heal. And yeah, kill the carry, deny the fight. It does result in 1, 2, 3 flashes being burnt, however, on SK's side of things. And this is interesting. So first set of Void Grubs was secured by Vitality. And they possibly will get another as they kill off DOS in his retreat from the pit. Another couple more souls into Hilly's back pocket. Up to 38. Slightly behind tempo if he continued at 20 per minute. But yeah, finally back to 40. The extra range results allowing Photon to secure the kill. But 5 Void Grubbies over to Vitality will mean this Rumble in the side lane will be a bit more threatening. Right now, obviously, the extra Void Might spawned will mean that this tower will take a substantial amount of damage. TP forced out to catch the wave. Cannon will be grabbed as well. Vitality topside are doing really well. Only the jungle we see an advantage to SK. Kind of an interesting thing to note. This early game hasn't really worked out for SK, and I mean, they do sort of outscale, minus the fact that Senna has infinite scaling. But the scaling factor, 2-3 items, certainly is where SK's PowerPoint is. They hit it slightly later than Vitality, who, with an Ari and a Rumble, want to be fighting and doing a lot of work as top side. All out use, Photon jumped on, Dawning Shadow comes out a bit too late as the kill is easily secured by Irrelevant. Hilly's just side laning with his top laner as Kazi's left isolated in the bot side, going to be knocked up into the air. But the wind wall denies any more play and follow up from SK. As another catch up could be happening as Eastman's locked up, knocked into the air. Douglas secures the kill. Now, I'm going to slow it down a little bit, go back into a more resetted pattern as bot side. We are seeing actually SK pressuring both towers, top and bot. Obviously, Kazi being left isolated for a long time means that he's in a situation where he can, well, he's forced on the tower to farm. But what I think we'll see is Vitality switching tempos up. They'll probably want to go get Herald as dogs are barking. Nice. Let me go stop that. Anyway. Anyway, back to live. Second Drake going to be secured by SK. So the game really for them is to just secure Drake, scale up that way. They are hoping to roll a good soul. Cloud soul. So the worst soul in the game. They are... I mean... that kind of helps Zeri. I think that's a pretty good one. Same with Rakan. With Cloud Soul, they get the extra movement speed. It's a very mobile bot side for SK, all things considered, as Hilly just getting so many stacks now. Anyway, doggies aside, back we go. Harold secured by Vitality. So yeah, that was a 1-for-1 trade. You're going for Tower Gold as a lovely charm. Execute taken load. Charm also used quite early. Good dodge out there by VTO to avoid the knock-up. If he got hit by that, he certainly was dead. But yeah, this is Vitality. So we're actually going to have to take a quick pause here, because I'm intrigued by this, because this is very interesting. So we saw the Drake trade. Drake was traded for Harold. So you sacrifice the scaling bonuses that Drakes give you for immediate gold or instantaneous cash when you drop it. Here is the interesting thing. The way that this one is going to play out is Harold's going to crash in, Tower's going to die. That's going to open up the mid lane as well as the sides. So all of here, it's going to be opened up in favor of Vitality. So while it is technically giving up latter stages of the game scaling, you're gaining the vision to control them latter parts of the game scaling as the game goes on. So realistically speaking, you take Harold to secure later advantages as you take the immediate gold for that bonus, but you also get, with these extra volume mites, the extra charge. Is he going to stay in mid? No, he's taking it to bot. He's got a bad angle. So he's just bringing it down here. Maybe not. This is a good charge. So he's brought it to the bot side. It'll probably be cleared out before he can get charge. Yeah. So Niski going to deny the second charge. So as a whole, if we think about it, Vitality opening up the mid lane, getting a nice injection of gold comparative to a Drake, certainly favors them a bit more, as you are kind of having to deal with now the invades, the vision being laid down. And I'm just looking at the minimap to see if any wards have been snuck in just yet. Does not appear to be anything on the map just yet. Instead, it's coming now with Hilly getting towards down. I mean, that's a typical ward for level 1 on the Raptors to see where Isma is. But we should start to see them stepping forward, especially here, as that's the Rakan caught out. And yeah, now Vitality just invading this top side of the map. 3 minutes until Baron. So they aren't really playing for that. They're just trying to secure relief pressure for Photon to start opening up this top half of the map. Because this tower will fall. It will mean that a lot more of this side of the map could be controlled as Baron spawns. And that is a huge buff for Vitality. The trade, however, will be a bot side tower for Niski, who, realistically speaking, just needs a bit more gold. He's sort of the closest member to Vitality now in terms of the gold difference, as it has swung quite heavily in favor of Vitality off the injection gold from first Tower Blood. The 2 towers they've actually immediately got. Well, it's 3 now, because they've got all outers. That's kind of nice for them, if you think about it. So yeah, Vitality playing the map well right now. Already utilizing the mid tower falling to get some deeper vision. Able to step forward. Hilly being very aggressive in terms of his positioning. Typical Hilly things. Topside though, Niski hunting for Photon. The slide and glide doesn't bring him in range for the Emperor's Divide. So this as a whole will result in a possible play as Relevant looks to have caught Kazi out. The Dawning Shadow won't be enough to keep him alive. Instead, it's a shutdown over to the top laner of SK. As the continuation of the play, Exekit kills off Douglas. The zap won't land. Instead, it's going to be the Q3. The Intofo strikes, securing the killing spree for Irrelevant. That was just a well-executed play by the SK top laner. Just hide in the brush as Kazi steps forward to try and get pressure down to the tower to get the Void Mites out. Yeah, just catch him sleeping. We watch it again. Simply put, it's just a great all-out. Pull Kazi under the tower into a massive death ball. He's dead. Good shield coming out from Rakan to keep Exekit alive. DOS doing work there, and that Q3 of the Intofo strikes landing just secures an easy kill onto the center. Now Vitality have to be on the back foot a little bit, try and play a bit more protective as Irrelevant just frontlining. Soul point secured for SK as Soul becomes the priority in 4 minutes time. Baron will be up in 10 seconds, and I think Vitality's gonna probably try to shift over. I mean, looking at their squad, they have an alright Baron taking team. I wouldn't say it's the best. I think SK have a slightly better Baron take with the Azir and Zeri. The combination that they provide will be a little bit better overall in terms of consistent damage on that Baron. But as it stands, Vitality sitting quite happily with a gold lead and the better scaling, as that center's gonna start to put a bit more impact on the map. Went Edge and Knight first compared to what? Umbral Glaive is a typical start that we see from centers, as Flame Spitter from Photon unable to secure the 2v1 outplay, but Eastman's quite low, and so is Niski, as the cease and desist brings Kazi into the play. Hilly secures it. As it happens, it was just clean Crystal playing out from the Vitality bot lane. Now mid lane, Vitality responding to the pressure SK are trying to put down onto this mid lane tier 1. Runa's Hurricane picked up by the Zeri alongside that static shift, so the minions aren't necessarily going to be living for that long. The consistent damage that can be outputted by the Vitality bot lane, the SK bot lane, is just a little bit too much for Vitality to deal with. But yeah, this play overall, 1-for-1 trade in the long run. Mid laner for top laner. SK certainly happy with how that kind of went because they got the pressure down. SK bot lane. So yeah. Take a stock of items other than for Zeri, as Baron started up. The 2-man is a possibility. Vitality have wards in this area. They've got to be suspicious of something happening. It's 4 members of SK in the area as the steal comes through. Douglas gets the objective, but the possible fight coming through as Kazi gets charmed, knocked up into the air, goes Hilly as a double kill comes through for this Zeri. The continuation of the play under this tower, the mid lane tier 1 being absolute menaces for SK. They finally take that one, but they get themselves 3 kills, and they give up Baron in a great steal by Douglas. That play honestly looked very scary for SK, for Vitality, because the Baron, it was started in darkness. It was just this play, diving straight over the wall, no hesitation, smite secure, didn't even land an auto, and Douglas steals it. The follow-up play, because Hilly roots himself with Dawning Shadow, he's immediately killed off. This tower is the bane of the existence. Niski auto is hit a few times, so does Zeri. And yeah, it does look like the possible escape route being choked off by that mid lane tier 1. But good work by SK to kill that one off. Kind of unfortunate they didn't secure the Baron. But their win con still on the table as Soul is on the plate, as that is a lovely equalizer down onto Zeri, but she's still alive. She does enough to secure the trade back. The clap back as Niski secures himself the second kill, but it's a 2-for-2 trade. Both junglers and ADCs down. Niski hunting for a follow-up as the charm comes through. Rakan gets onto the backside and secures the mid laner, but both mid laners are down in the end somehow. SK coming out on top of this play. Photon incredibly low. He's got Baron buff. He should be able to escape using the scrap shield. Irrelevant goes the wrong way anyway. But SK quicker to the punch in this fight. I'm going to slow this one down. It's just this. The layering of abilities. If we watch again. Exekick kind of misplays this, all things considered. I think the way he flashes right next to this wall makes sense because he wants to then go over and go here to reposition with Niski. But the cease and desist is always coming through. The flash just puts him in a awkward situation where you're just going to burn to the equalizer. As we just go back to my pen. Equalizer dropped into a cease and desist. The goal's quite clear for. The goal is very clear for Vitality in what they're doing here. Equalizer. Last breath. Cease and desist. Into hopefully a dead Zeri. She's just burning away on this. Niski stood over here. No impact on the fight yet. You got 3 members here. Apart from Photon, aren't really engaging in this play. You've got then DOS trying to knock up these guys, stopping them from being involved in the play. As a whole, this position is kind of a strong one for SK because they can turn onto these 2 members. Zeri pops the ulti just to get as much damage down as possible, but the flash forward from VTO securing the shutdown allows for the fact that now Vitality have the members lead, even if Kazi is going to die immediately. Crypto Bloom healing up the members of, I believe it is SK, and that will mean that the trade throughs can come through. Niski finally is in the play and he's untouched. Gets put damage down. And this situation, 3v3, even sort of member count in terms of who's alive. Niski sees the charm go wide. So there's no actual stuns left up and available for Vitality at this stage, as we just saw the W coming out from center. Charm's gone wide. And then Rumble doesn't have a stun. So Niski as a whole is like, well, we can go in here. We've got an all-outing Irrelevant. He misses. That missing kind of results in more members of SK dying. Let's be honest. As here, Photon's like, well, he's missed his ulti. I can kill this. Flame Spitter. It's a good Zonya's because he sees DOS going in. The charm. He burns through him quite well. I'm pretty sure he's got Rylai's, because Dosh just gets slow to smithereens. He does well to get on top of VTO once the charm lands, but Photon uses all his kit, gets a kill onto Niski. It's mid laners dying on either side in a 1-for-1 trade, but this is the trade that matters. The support of Vitality dying, Hilly, to irrelevant. Its Photon kind of was unable to trade back. It means that SK win out the team fight, and they get better setup on the Drake as Hilly forces the flash away. Not going to be caught out there. It does also result in Isma's flash going. So the possible re-engage for Vitality is there. However, looking at summoners, all of the big ones on SK are down. Vitality have flash on Rumble, so they could possibly look for a fight. But it looks to be a catch out onto Vito, charmed up, knocked up into the air. Zeri going all out aggressive to Zoomies. Not going to mean that she's getting the kill. Instead, it goes over to Niski. But Vitality pushed out. And in fact, Soul was secured by SK. We didn't get to see that, but Cloud Soul, an even bigger factor now, as the speedy boys of Vital, well, SK, can utilize that charm speed, the Zeri speed, as Kazi going to be dove under the mid lane tier 1. Possible overstep, as here's the Emperor's Divide. Last breath puts Kazi in a better position as he's just dancing his way through the equalizer. Kind of awkward, all things considered. Doesn't really do much in terms of stuns or utilizing the Kazi dash around. Pretty sure that is a outright bad play from the bot lane of Vitality. And we're going to watch it again. So this dash through, pretty good from Kazi. He gets himself to safety, but dodges the sedge, goes through. And this is the position if you're Vitality where you're like, I don't want to fight this. You've seen all the members of Vitality basically in the area, bar Niski. So this is where it's like, oh god, we've lost this fight. Emperor's Divide. It's a good last breath from Kazi to put him back to safety. But it's just a follow-up from Vitality being too much. From SK being too much. All out. The carpet honestly could have been better if it was placed slightly further back. Like, even if it went that way, it would have been a bit better. But here, it's just, I get it, because you want to stop the continuation of a dive. Across this choke point, like here, would have been nice. Maybe here, if it got over to that side. But yeah, where it is now is just poor. And it just means Kazi's unable to trade back. Even if the low health bars come through, he gets stunned and stopped from getting any sort of return kill. They realized the issues of that play. It was just an overstep. Something we've seen a lot of is oversteps this year, and it's playing with no respect. That is probably one of the biggest things Europe have, is playing without respect. The egos of the players certainly affecting how we do as a region. As Vitality looking for a play, Charm goes wide and Vito chunked. It's actually a massive chunk both sides. It's X kick taken quite low, but he's just fed Douglas. Douglas goes in. Douglas dies. Baron is up in 20 seconds. That should be an easy objective, as Sejuani going to secure VTO as the continual dive, the unrelenting pressure SK have. Once they find a pick, they continue to hunt for more. The movement speed the Cloud Soul provides allows for Eastman to get the chase down onto Hilly. That's looking like game. It certainly feels like game. Cloud Soul diff, baby. One pick leads to everyone falling, and a vision game that Vitality gave up. They had the advantage, but they threw it all away as a misplayed dive results in SK finding a lot of things on the map. Just looking at it, Douglas is back alive. SK unable to secure Baron, but I think that's where we're heading. Inhibitor was secured off the back of it. TP's thrown out. Irrelevant. And Niski. Either A, hunting to pick off a member, and that Kazi guy is quite far forward in lane. But VTO, he knows something's up. But Kazi does not. He's swept under the tower and brought to his demise. Last breath gives him a little bit of life, but not enough to stay alive. That's an interesting thing. And I think we need to talk about the entire thought process of that. Because it's just a fact here. So, Vitality are unaware of where SK are. They've taken a reset and are probably headed to Baron. That's probably the mindset. But if you know they're on the top side of the map, you're playing Yasuo, so you're having to be in the wave in order to farm. It's just this part where we see VTO like go over and he's like pinging like he knows someone's there. You wouldn't use the W to reposition in that position if you didn't know someone was there. The fact he's doing that kind of signifies he knows someone's there, meaning why is Kazi still staying so far forward farming? Either the communication isn't over, like just the fact he's dodging in that position. The communication just isn't there between Vitality members in this situation to say, hey, wee woo, there's SK in this area, back away. We don't want to give them an easy kill, an easy Baron. The fact Irrelevant shows himself should be the signal that Kazi's in a bad position. And yeah, Empress Vide, death. It's just a poor commed play. And Vitality get punished. Because that should mean not Soul, Baron over to SK uncontested. Unless Douglas gets a steal, which is highly unlikely, Vitality can't get this. And I'm just looking at the map state as to what there is to play for if you're Vitality. And I mean, you are kind of waiting for Elder. Unfortunately, you need to get a miracle fight around Elder if you are to win this game. But SK are going to hopefully use this Baron to push in waves to then secure the vision around this buff. Or they're just going to brute force it. They see VTO. Sedrult's down, but Cloud Soul, baby. That cooldown is going to be up quite quick. The steal of the objective, it looked like. Yeah, no red buff on Vitality as Kazi's caught yet again. He can't step up into the wave. And that's going to result in everyone on Vitality falling. The dive on the bot lane tier 1. Sedge is bulky enough to tank it. And yeah. Double kill over to Niski. The game's already being ended by the Zeri. One pick snowballs it all. Vi gets the trade back. And yeah. Game 1 in the books. Let's head to GOL for game 2. Because game 2's kind of an interesting thing. My eyes itchy. Oh. Very itchy. Anyway. GOL. Time. GOL. Bang. Do you know I hate people being noisy? Where is... Why are they being noisy? It's annoying. They're just yelling. Anyway, let's go into the Vitality SK. So, game 2. Let's take a look at drafts. And I mean, already, Varus, Rel, Maokai, TF, Kalista, Rumble. So Rumble getting removed. They did not like that performance or dealing with it. So SK removed it. It does mean that topside probably would be Renekton coming through. Jax is open till ban phase 2. Rakan removed in ban phase 2. Nautilus Camille removed in ban phase 2 for the other side. So this game was the Kazi pop-off game. He just ran it and was unkillable. And I think the big reason he was unkillable is a champion we like to call Zilean. I'm pretty sure Hilly's Zilean was perfect this game. Just the fact that he could keep all his team alive. Douglas's aggression could be well suited alongside this pick. The extra movement speed, just being unrelenting. I like how Vitality drafted this. You got ball carriers with the Volley Bear and Jace as they dive forward. The Shockwave will obviously hit a lot of members, a lot of burst. The Bard does intrigue me. I don't like it into necessarily a Xayah and a Zilean. It just gets kind of redundant. I'd much rather see a... Well, I much rather would have seen... Well, they're on red side, so... Pick phase 1 would have gone... First pick, Vitality, probably would have been the Volley. With Maokai down. Vi's... Actually, no, you probably wouldn't lock in that. You'd probably lock in... Ori. I don't know. Sorry, Xayah. That situation, you let it run. You let it run through the second pick phase. Yeah. Then I would think you go. Well, SK probably went Azir Sedge first rotation or Azir Zari. Volley, then Jace. No, Volley Ori. Second rotation for Vitality. Second ban phase. Support left open. Obviously, game 1, SK picked the Rakan on 4, sorry, so Vitality ban it. Nautilus removed, Camille. A lot of the engaged poke heavy, well, the engaged support's getting removed. Jack's also removed. Yeah, I think Bard would have been counterpicked to Hilly's Zillion on 4. So yeah. Personally, I think the draft from Vitality just worked better. If it gets a late game, it's just impossible to play against if you're SK. So yeah. Let's go to timeline and pick out a fight, because I kind of want to look at one. And I think it's... I mean, it kind of has to be 25-minute mark, doesn't it? "25 minutes on the clock." So yeah, we'll go back a bit, see how this fight starts up, because it is certainly looking like Vitality just see Niski and Yusma pathing over to the bot side. They're just baiting with the wave. And then Kazi just sped up, sees DOS, runs at him, flash forward into a storm bringing shockwave. Clean. It's just the damage. Outright is unbearable. The combination that those 4 champs provide together just means Photon can just sit inside and push. And he doesn't really need to be with the team, but the poke he can put down is just huge. Yeah. It's late game, baby. It's unplayable. Bard's just too weak. Gone redemption, and that's it in terms of his item pool. Whereas Hilly's gone Mikhail, so he can peel. Because realistically speaking, you look at the champs. If Zaya's hit by Sedge, Mikhail's comes down. So there goes Sedge ult for nothing. Essentially, then Featherstorm can be used. Then Cleanse can be used. There's too many CC negation tools on this Zaya that SK can't really deal with it. Not at this stage anymore. And Zaya moves so quick. And we're kind of like wondering, how do Vitality play this? Well, it seems to be basically just slow it down. You're on Salt Point. The longer the game goes, the better it is. So you secure Soul. You then probably are going to have a fight around it. So you probably then get Baron and then push for game. At this stage of it. Or you just push. Send Photon on site. He's got TP. Same with VTO. VTO has just ulted. Where is he? Pretty sure he's mid, so I'm pretty... assume he ulted to get the wave pushed in. Or it just came off cooldown. Anyway, DOS is dead. Crash down, volley stun. Killed. Stormbringer out. It is an ulti used by Vitality, but it gets a kill onto the support. The Tempered Fate is just such an annoying spell to deal with if you don't remove the champ. And Bard's very squishy. Hasn't even got his second item. Hasn't really had chance to. And now complete darkness around this Baron. Vitality just going to force the objective. TP's burnt. They're going to get that out from Niski. But good steal. We've just seen 2 steals this game. And last, TP coming through. Vitality looking to chase. They've got the movement speed from the Cillian. Once the chrono shift is put down onto Photon, he just knows to continue forward. Massive chunk of damage done to SK, but no kills unfortunately for them. And Vitality are like, well, what do we do now? 2 minutes until Soul. They can't really do much, they just have to clear waves. It's a great steal out from Sedge, also able to escape with Flash. No shockwave for VTO. I think talking about the fact that VTO used it to try and bush wave is kind of important, because he didn't get any summoners out from anyone. But he does get waste it essentially when he needs it. Let me just get comfy to talk about the next follow-up bit. So, Kazi pretty stoked right now. 9-1-5. 30 minutes on the clock. Baron just to weather the storm that Vitality are putting down. Kazi stepping very far forward. And he realizes he can do so with the amount of basic CC reduction, negation that he has as... I want to play this back at 0.4 speed, or the slowest speed that I can, because let's be honest, wrong one, 0.25. That just seemed like normal speed League of Legends. So, where's Hilly? Keep your eyes on Hilly. He's kind of the catalyst for this play. I may have done this too early. Speed gate. Into E, speed. Flash. Q. 2 autos, 3 autos. W. Emperor's Divide's used to push and stop the Jace dive, but Kazi's already hit with the autos. It's just speed into speed. And it's unplayable for Niski, who just gets ran down. Simple as that. There's no counterplay to speed. And Vitality punish. Kill the mid laner. It's one less Baron, and you'd think Baron would secure push for SK. They've been unable to utilize it for push because they're fearful of that Xayah. Mikhail's is used, Tower's turned off. There's a good Tempered Fate onto 3. And they are able to get a kill back, but look at Kazi. The feathers and then that shockwave. Down goes Zeri. No consistent damage left. Xayah was chrono shifted anyways as she stepped forward. Yeah, that's game. It was a close turnaround, but Kazi too fared. Maybe not. Game may not be over yet. This is slow. It's just unbearable. Game's looking over. VTO tempting fate, however. He is quite low. So yeah. Vitality back it up. And the minu's just gonna kill the towers. Simple as that. Game essentially SK played too scared in game number 2. Once it got to late game, they needed to make a sort of int play, as people would call it, where they try to kill off the. I mean, he's just gonna kill the towers. To kill off the ADC, but it's just impossible when you have little to no hard engage, because Bard's not hard engage. Anyway, game 3, the mushroom game. Let's get into draft. I think Xayah may become a priority in terms of bans. Renata's removed, Rel's removed, Ori, Rumble, SK are on blue this time. They may look to first pick it, but Maokai is up. If it's not banned. Not Azir. Varus is removed. So Maokai is left for now. Still some power picks. I think you have to ban Azir here, because Ori's removed. So there's no immediate response. They are going to ban out the Callista instead. So this kind of leads me to think that what we'll see is a first pick Mao, Azir, and then Vi. Or Azir Zeri, Azir Xayah. Azir's gonna come through here. You just have to feel it for Vitality. Jace was alright for Photon in game number 2. So yeah. But it's actually going to be Sedge. Sedge tanks up a lot of damage. And it is hard engage for Vitality. I'm intrigued how SK respond, because what? Chances are it's Azir here, so you go like Talia, Ahri. Jace comes through. So you actually have full options in that mid lane. You can even go Azir yourselves. I'm pretty sure SK or Vitality are baiting the Azir. So Zeri, I mean, Vi's not picked up here by Vitality. Zeri would work. Vi obviously providing a lot of heavy lockdown onto her, so that not being an option is kind of nice. And what do you pair it up with in that mid lane? The fact that Niski's hovering Corki leads me to believe, yeah, Niski's going to go for his Azir again. Bit shaky in game number 2, all things considered. But the response probably will be Talia. Talia or Ahri. If they are to lock their AP champ here, they're not. They're to lock Rakan. So Nort, I think, is going to be banned here. Alistar's also an option. Xayah, yeah, makes sense. Zeri, Xayah, Jinx? Question mark. Jinx could be a ban. If they want to double ban ADCs, I mean, what is there? Mid laners, unless you ban Ahri here on 4 or 5, sorry. Lulu banned. Yeah, Zeri Lulu. I mean, Yumi's still a champ. As much as I hate it, it could come through. But I think you kind of want to go for a little bit more hard engage if you're SK in this situation. Jinx gets removed. There you go. So now Vitality, I mean, Kaiser is a response. Kaiser or Khan bot lane. That Jace could actually be flex mid. I haven't thought about that for VTO. And we could see... Oh, there's quite a few champs we could see in the top lane. But Camille comes through for DOS, I presume. May even go top for Irrelevant. Though I think Jax is more beneficial to him. You've got an AP jungler. I think you need to go a bit more AD on that top half of the map. Renekton, tank Renekton. I mean, Rek'Sai, sorry, not Renekton. Renekton would have also worked, to be fair. I think you need a bit more of a AD champ on that top side, but Rek'Sai into TF. Yikes. Obviously, the range advantage over to Photon in this situation. Maybe a bit too hard for this Rek'Sai to deal with. I think Rek'Sai obviously has a lot of sustain, a lot of healing in that kit. But personally speaking, I think TF wins that matchup outright. Just as the game goes on, the split push threat. And it is actually going to be Jace in the mid lane. So, Vitality switching their draft around. Azir into Jace. Jace into Azir. I don't think I've really seen it, but I would say it would favor the Azir on paper. Just the fact that the Sand Soldiers can just deny the aggression or the effectability that Jace will have in trying to kill minions. It just makes sense that Niski will have the advantage in that play. So, as we load onto the Rift for game number 3, it's time to get excited as the crowd's getting rowdy. The mushroom heads are here. Let's go. Game number 3. SK Vitality. I miss the good old music where they put the wub wubs on. They need to bring that back. It made the league fun. But as we start the game, SK are going to go for an early level. Sorry, Vitality. Going for a level 1 play. Going to be spotted out. Rek'Sai obviously has her passive where she detects movement while she's burrowed. Her way of seeing will quite honestly spot the play, and instead it's a turnaround of a play as Photon not going to be jumped on. A wraparound there came out from Isma to get behind. Vitality, level 1 ward on that brush on the Raptor camp. Gonna note the start of Douglas, and you know, I think that's an important factor, is to start being known for SK. Isma pathing to the bot side, looking to affect this level 3, level 4, where Kazi and Hilly will have a bit more pressure in the lane. I think with the Qs, the Cathian Rain coming out from this Kaiser will allow for a bit more of a pushback once this Zeri oversteps. As a hook shot through. DOS forced to flash early. They were certainly looking for the level 2 play, but unable to land it. Instead, going forward is going to be Zeri. They are going to get a bit more pressure down as mid. Jace actually doing quite well. The trade back, though, quite heavy. The expected trade back anyway. And VTO forced to ward. However, it's a bit too late as Already, DOS caught out. He's going to the jungler, knocked up into the air, and that looked like a perfect snipe coming out from Kazi. He certainly did hit it to get the assist. An overstep there by the Camille. But the response back, another kill, is flashing forward X kick. Gonna actually have sacrificed himself. It is somehow a 1-for-1 trade, as I think Hilly didn't need to go that aggressive. Had to misplay by the Vitality support. So we're gonna watch it again. This greedy shouldn't be there because Isa not in a position to protect, and he's forced to flash away. Here, the follow-up play is good by SK to catch him out, but never mind. Flash out by VTO. As a lovely knock-up coming out from Hilly. The crash down with the hammer. Gonna secure the kill as VTO gets on the board. DOS not really doing too much on this Camille. Certainly does not look comfortable on it. Overstepping. Kind of overestimating the power that Camille has. Level 1, level 2. She's not very bulky. And he's certainly not really doing too much. He's died twice in the matter of a minute. Whereas Hilly's on the roam again. Finally, Vitality wrestle back control of this bot lane. Slow pushing wave. Looking very good for them. Just deleting the first minion. Yeah, as a whole, Vitality doing good. Already securing a bit of pressure as knocked him into the air goes DOS. Forced to burn his pot, and now Vitality push the wave in, crash it into the tower, and go for the early hack strike. This does intrigue me. Obviously, I think in the first 2 games we saw a lot more priority on the Void Grubs. But the fact that Vitality's prio this game is on the bot side of the map is a good sign for them. Kazi, standout performer in game 2. And game 1 he was a bit more of a thrower. But yeah, realistically speaking, we should start to see maybe a path up here. Obviously, Rek'Sai, very hard to kill with the Fury stacks built up, irrelevant. Not going to take any damage really from this trade. Because, boop, 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 he's back to full health. This was what I was expecting. Void Grubs to be started by Vitality. They seem to really like that, as Irrelevant is going to proxy the wave. As he's just going to be forced to retreat back to his team. DOS is on the top half of the map. Already left his ADC, who has hit level 6. Zari being ahead of the curve a little bit here. However, what I will say is DOS very far behind the curve. And in fact, because he's left the bot lane, it does mean that Kazi gets to control the wave himself. Finally returning back to his team member. And yeah. Vitality. Kind of happy. The ADC, the spot left the lane. Because he really didn't do too much. Ooh. -1 there on that minion. for Kazi. In fact, there's a whole wave difference in terms of CS in that bot lane. Don't know where that extra wave has gone through for Exokick, but hey, it is what it is. And SK gonna be kind of content as Emperor's Divide not gonna land. Niski missing the big ulti results in the fact that VTO gets to stay alive. Probably would have had a bit of better situation as Hilly doing hilly things, clearing out vision. 2 minutes until any real objective is on the map, but here Isma could be caught out as Destiny comes through the gate, brings in the TF. It will be a 1-for-1 trade as DOS gets the kill back, but Jace, VTO still back alive. Good goal card out from Photon. Secures the triple kill over to his mid laner. And that was interesting play to say the least. It looked like numbers advantage in favor of SK in that play, but Vitality clamp back hard. It's here. Just great use of the Destiny Gate. Once the stun comes through from the Sedge, there's no real escape for the Maokai. Then it's just the follow up coming through. DOS does trade one back, but not really the best person to be getting all the buffs. So he just transfers it over to the VTO. The Jace getting a triple kill, getting paid. Vitality certainly starting to feel happy about how this game is going. 2k gold lead on them right now. And you know, it's certainly going to grow as obviously Photon has the innate extra gold that he gets as TF is almost getting to that static shiv start of the game as DOS caught out once again. The Sejuani in position. The Everfrost, the Permafrost, sorry, gonna deny any escape and 1-for-1 Camille. This early game champion not really having a good early game. In fact, some may say possibly a bad game as Charm forward goes the Rakan. Gonna secure VTO an unstoppable killing spree, and only a good Emperor's Divide secures the trade back. Vitality, they're feeling themselves, they're looking for plays, and Hilly, while he does die, he is setting it up as I looked away for 1 second. Down goes DOS again. He doesn't know how to play Camille, let's be honest. I don't really, me neither, to be fair. I don't know how you play Camille support. But from what we're seeing, he certainly doesn't. And he's being punished for it quite heavily. And I think Vitality are realizing he doesn't, and he's into it. Anyway, back to live. Infernal Drake picked up by Vitality. The trade back though will be at least one of these grubs. Another one will secure the double Void Might spawns for SK. However, they may not be able to get it as another one is going to fall. Maokai secures that one. The last Void Might will be secured. That's full 6 Void Might over to SK. And they're going to be happy with that as Hilly denies a base. The other side of the caveat for that play is Kazi got paid. He got himself some turret plates in the mid lane. And TP coming out from VTO will probably result in another couple of plates in the bot side. As, let's be honest, the tempo being pushed here by Vitality, even if there will be a turret plate trade in the top side, it's certainly more beneficial to Vitality with how it's going. As the wave crashed in, the lane swap back, and now, how do SK want to play this? Because laning phase will end soon. Obviously, Niski gonna be very, very potent on this Azir if he gets a pushback, but he is behind 2.4k veto 501 with the hubris, I believe it's called, his back pocket. He's certainly feeling himself, let's be honest. And I think SK will try to shut him down. I was saying that before the play even surmounted. But flash out from their Vitality mid laner will mean he's probably going to lose a couple of waves here. Probably a wave. He hasn't got TP. However, bot side's where Vitality are building the advantage. As another plate goes into the back pockets of Kazi. And this Kaiser, the interesting thing here is she can go for the AP build. Have the extra harass from the W. Because you look at the rest of her laners, it's triple ADCs. It's TF, Jace, are both AD, I guess. Kaiser could go AD, but I'm pretty sure she'll go with the AP build. The extra damage that you get from it. She's already stacking up the Manamune or Mermana. Lost chapter in the back pocket, so probably a Lunar Tempest to be picked up. And yeah. SK gonna have to deal with the pressure, with the power that Vitality have right now. And it's going to be quite hard to do, as a possible turret dive going to come through as DOS forced a hookshot away. But he's in a bad situation, as a charm could come through once the tunnel has been used. Another knock up, and Vito snipes away as in comes the rest of Vitality. 4 members up top. Where is this TF? He's hiding in the bot side, respecting the responsive play that SK have. They're using the Herald to secure themselves an objective bounty, but it's a kill over to Vitality, as well as probably this top lane tier 1 if they stuck around. In fact, it actually has fallen. Anyway, Destiny was used, as the Emperor's Divide was also used, so that was a 1-for-1 trade in terms of ultis. Certainly favourable to Vitality, with 15 seconds on soul point. No Emperor's Divide means there's no real, like, ulti they need to be worried about on the SK side of it, because they can't really force Vitality into a group now, or push them into the team for an easy execution. This is just a very well executed play by Vitality, because Destiny gate to the bot side map where you kind of want to be. Certainly beneficial for Photon, as well as the fact that Empress Divide is down. It means that there's no real backline threat to Vitality. So SK probably should give up this streak. Unfortunately, they've got no real business of being here. In fact, they're just standing and watching as Vitality push them out of here. TP used. It's a lot of damage down onto Niski, who gets knocked up into the air nearly by this charging forward Rakan. Instead, it's just a lot of damages. Hi! Bye! DOS falls again. This time Photon secures it. Niski, however, TP topside, gonna secure a second objective bounty for himself. But the other side of the map, that's a dead Rek'Sai, and that should be a dead Zeri to boot. Is going to be able to get away. But the mid lane tier 1 kind of looking like a juicy target for Vitality in the next coming minutes. Now, while SK get caught out in mid, they are securing top lane tier 2 as DOS puts the cage down. But will it be multiple kills? No, it will not. It's a shutdown onto Kazi. And somehow, this Drake hasn't fallen yet. The snipe almost lands as Niski's forced to flash. VTO very powerful right now. Stacking up himself a tier. Both the bot side of the map, mid and bot, are stacking up tiers for Vitality. So the extra power will be there, as in the top side, RFC and Static Shiv for this TF. It's also got another energized crystal. Kind of surprises me. But I mean, I think he'll probably be building something a little bit more damage orientated in that third item spot. Well, what it is, I'm not entirely sure. But double energized. Double energizer is a bit yucky to be. Anyway, finally, Vitality are going to start this Drake. SK can't really respond to it, even though they're fully aware that it is happening. No real way to contest. As Camille camping up topside of the map, looking for a play. An overstep, to say the least. In fact, all those 3 members up topside. Vitality, well aware of the dangers of topside, not going to overstep. Instead, they're just going to force this mid wave in. Should probably get a couple of autos down onto this tower to secure it. 1, 2. There you go. Now, Vitality turn to topside as Destiny Gate is used. Stun card down as they get the TP out from Irrelevant. And DOS is just being ran down. Hookshot pulls him into a massive shock blast. As die forward comes Vitality. The Emperor's Divide looks good, but it isn't enough. Down goes the Azir. Make it a triple for VTO. And SK. That's Baron, baby. They've given it up. What? Will there be a smite steal? Isma not going to be able to get anywhere near it. Vitality dominant in game 3. As, oh boy. Maokai caught. Zeri ult comes through. Nature's Grasp also used. But in the end, no one's going to be falling. Other than that Baron, obviously. And SK. Bit of a yikes play. It's just the fact the TP ability that Vitality have with the Destiny Gate results in so much more for them. DOS caught out once more. Sacrificial lamb, some may say in this play. But he's just out of it. He's got no way to play this one. He certainly knows it. The champion not playing to design. And he is being punished. As VTO's certainly fair, didn't he? Massive damage from that shot blast. Baron still on Vitality for another 2 minutes. Looking to crack all the outers. This is tier 2. Gonna be opened up. Obviously, bot side is being pushed in by SK. Niski being the split push threat for his team. It is going to be responded to by VTO, who's just stepping forward. May have gone a bit too far forward as the Emperor's Divide's used, but under tower, my friend Niski just gets deleted. VTO is legendary. Game 3. everything's coming up VTO, as that's going to be a good hit by Eastman to get to safety. But what we're seeing is pickoffs in the side lane for Vitality, resulting in winning this game, let's be honest. They're finally going to get tier 2 on the bot side with the last minute of Baron. 3k off this buff, 4k actually now. It's huge, and they're certainly looking as a great use of this Sigil. Gonna force Zeri to cleanse and ult herself. The trade back of damage down onto Hilly is quite high, but Vitality have only used one ulti and got so much out of it. Niski and Irrelevant on the top side map. Niski's TP'd up here, but it's into VTO. The Baroned up minions are just so hard to deal with. He's trying to stop the backs, as that's the dive forward as Zeri has fallen. DOS gets on the backside and he's going to shut down the TF as, have Vitality overstepped. Kazi being ran down. Isma's hunting. He sees the low health bars as top side. Oh my days. VTO is shut down. SK are fighting back. Is this the throw that SK needed to win the series? Niski is going to chance it. Obviously, 6 Void Might is what SK have. So, then Void Might's going to allow him to secure the tier 2 top. Like it or not, the way SK have kind of played this, good flash there, is by, simply put, utilizing the split push to, while overstay, get gold back that they've lost by DOS kind of inting. And Niski's trying to avoid these Void Seekers so hard. X-Kick throwing them on target. Got his flash early. Now Niski kind of can't stay for this objective. In fact, soul secured by Vitality. No contest from SK here. They're just content with farming up, getting some of the gold back, and realistically speaking, trying to weather the storm. 8-17 is the kill score. And you gotta admit, while he hasn't been present in some of these fights, he certainly has impact on this TF, is our man Photon. The Destiny Gate obviously being so prevalent, allowing for repositions, and realistically speaking, allowing for certain plays to come through, as DOS not going to get caught out. Instead, it's Hilly on the receiving end of a catch out as Nature's Grass goes wide. And now SK, have you invested too much? The Destiny Gate comes through and they're looking to kill off Irrelevant, as look how many cards are being thrown down. This Rek'Sai, no escape, and is just donating his life to Kazi. SK, that's your last hurrah, as you're going to be sent down to the lower bracket of playoffs. Vitality looked shaky in game 1, but in game 2 and 3, it was realistically the Kazi show and the VTO show, as they stepped up for their respective team and have just deleted the opposition. We could possibly see an absolute deletion of her health bar, as there you go. Goodbye, Isma. Thanks for coming. See you later. Finally, X-Kick stepping forward. He's looking to keep the game alive, but that is a massive shock blast as an Emperor's Divide going to push Photon down to his death. Have SK found their way back. The double kill over to X-Kick. He gets to slow down, but he's continuing to chase the triple kill. He sees 2 low health bars as the double massive burst damage spells go away from Vitality. SK, they're keeping themselves in it, barely. However, their base is in tatters. Watch this again. It looks like Vitality catch out Isma, but it's there. The killer instinct forward just means that they're in a situation where it's do or die. Exokic's forced to fight. That massive shock blast forces over aggression and Photon gets punished for it. And then it's just Q after Q after Q landing onto Isma. A massive shutdown. But again, Vito keeps landing these shock blasts and chunking away Deseri, who barely survives. Now with Baron on the table, no vision for SK. They needed to contest this because now Vitality can step up, utilize the Baron to just kill the base. The inhibitor tower in the bot side and top looking to be what Vitality want. SK are positioning to contest. And you know, I for one think that this should be game. If this play doesn't end well, as half a health bar just gone from 1Q from this Jace. You can tell he's fed. The hubris is filled. He's also got the armor pen item. That's also lethality. 1 shot, 2 shot, maybe 3 shots, but it won't happen as irrelevant. Goes forward. Repositioning is Kazi, but the X-Peke moment. Photon is just backdooring. The Emperor's Divide, not gonna stop it. And in the end, Vitality win with an X-Peke moment. You realistically don't expect it. And certainly, it was pretty good from Vitality. I've got to admit, DOS did not look comfortable on Camille. And I think teams will leave that up against him. Because he just wasn't good on it, unfortunately. But yeah, as it goes, that is it for today. Wow. Second stream of the day for me as well. So yeah, there's that. Thank you very much for joining me for this one. Probably the main one of the day. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Subscribe, maybe if you're newer in there, or if you want to. And I will see you guys for... actually, no, I'm not done. There's one last thing to do. It's predictions, baby. We need to lock in for the games today. And I just need to pull up my spreadsheet of doom. I don't have a voice changer on this setup, so I can't exactly do that. Today there's a couple of games for the LEC playoffs that we do need to predict. At 4 PM, it's Vitality BDS, and then it's Fnatic G2. Oh boy. Let me just put this down here. FNC, BDS, G2, Vitality. I just realized. Hi. Yeah. So, let me just tidy this one up. I don't need my epic pen anymore. Let me just remove it. Bye. So, a couple of big games. Not gonna lie. So, here we go. Boop, 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 boop. G2 put Mad in their places yesterday, and Fnatic did the same against Giant X. I think everyone expected them results. So, I think this one will be a lot closer. Wow, that does that. Okay. This one is kind of interesting. I think we're getting a rematch of a rematch. I'm just going to say 2-1 Vitality. This one, I think 2-1. Yeah.
So, why have I gone 2-1 Vitality? We'll start with that one, because that is actually the first matchup. Oh, wait. Hi. 2-1 Vitality. Simply put, Vitality looked really good against SK. Granted, SK looked poor. But I wasn't a fan of how BDS played yesterday, to be honest. I thought they barely scraped by. So I think Vitality probably will do better against BDS. And the big issue last time these two teams faced off in playoffs was the bot side in the map. Kazi and Hilly just were caught out consistently. Now, granted, they were in the SK series as well, but SK were unable to punish last year. This year, or split, Vitality were kind of punished game 1, and they lost it. But game 2 and 3, they were clean. Crisp, clean league, and just played the map better. I think Hilly's pull a champion certainly benefits Vitality a lot, but as it stands, I've got to go with them over BDS. Now, Fnatic G2, I guess I can talk about this prediction. I think regular season G2 don't really care. Playoff G2 kind of care, but again, they don't need to care about this split. They decide who goes to MSI with them. They're kingmakers. They could genuinely game throw. Because this split does not matter. Neither does summer for them, by the way. Pointless. Anyway, I think G2 will win this one. Though I do have a sinking suspicion Fnatic may get the actual win. But that's a feeling versus reality. I'm done here. I hope you enjoyed this long-ass stream, the double stream today. I'm really looking forward to MSI, because that's soon around the corner. Obviously, we know a couple more teams going. TL winning the LCS last night. Kind of surprising. Then again, unsurprising, because it's Lyquest, who always seem to be the Cinderella team. Always a bridesmaid, never the bride. That famous saying. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me today, on your Easter Monday. If you've enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new here, if you want to. I'll see you guys for the predictions. We're done with our coverage of round 1. So yeah, see you then.